We are now just over 48 hours away from the most important rugby league game of the year. We have been blessed with a third State of Origin decider in the past 4 years, and at the start of this NRL season, I don't think a lot of us expected this, but here we are. Origin, Game 3 decider, Suncorp Stadium. Does it get any bigger than what we're about to see on Wednesday night? Since the Felice Kafusi sin bin, everything has seemed to have gone the way of New South Wales, and that is just one of the reasons I believe that they will win this Wednesday night for the first time in a decider at Suncorp since 2005, winning a second straight State of Origin series and a fourth Origin in the past 5 seasons. But before we get any more into the preview, over 90% of you watching are not subscribed, so please subscribe if you haven't already. It is completely free, and you can always change your mind later. Comment your Game 3 predictions in that comment section below, and of course, smash that like button if you enjoy the video. Queensland shocked the world in Game 1, picking up an upset victory in Sydney in one of the best Origin games of all time. Then Freddie made 8 changes to his squad, and when everyone called him crazy and everyone called him delusional, the Blues did what they did in 2019 and then what they've done in the past couple of seasons, and that is dominate Game 2. And now, once again, here we are going to Suncorp Stadium, and despite that, the Blues are the big favourites, and they've got a horror record in deciders at Suncorp. Queensland are back in their favourite scenario as the underdogs at home, but unlike the other years, there is one huge problem for the Queenslanders, and that is that they will be without their main man, Cameron Munster. Tom Dearden will make his Origin debut at 5'8", and Corey Oates will come into place for Murray Taulagi, which I think will be sort of a blessing in disguise for the Queenslanders. The New South Wales back three has been sensational in the opening 2 games, and while Queensland have really struggled, Corey Oates will give them a massive confidence boost when it comes to working out from their own end. But I think that while Corey Oates is a great inclusion, obviously Queensland's biggest advantage going into this match has to be the fact that this game will be at Suncorp Stadium. There has been a lot of talk in the media about how many points Suncorp is worth, and whatever number that is, without Cameron Munster, the Maroons will have to use up all of them. The Blues suffered through that Queensland dynasty, and I don't think they're going to underestimate how hard it is to win away in Origin, just like the Queenslanders did only a few weeks ago in Game 1. But the positive for the Blues is that not only did they win in Suncorp last year, but it was a domination when they won the series 2-0. That was the first time a Freddie Fittler head coach New South Wales team won at Suncorp, and that will give the core group of players a massive boost in confidence. The problem for Queensland is that they know they aren't able to pump the Blues, while New South Wales have dominated Queensland more often than not over the past few years. Now, it's obvious Game 3 will be nothing like Game 2, and it is easy to forget that Game 1 was super close. The biggest problem there is the fact that New South Wales have gotten a lot better on paper and still have plenty of room to improve, while Queensland have only gotten weaker, and it seemed they played perfectly in Game 1 to only win by 6 points. Unfortunately for the Maroons, when you look at the 1-17 for both sides, the Blues have the advantage, especially without Munster. I think it's fair to say that even with the game at Suncorp, DCE and Kalen Ponga will both have to stand up and play the games of their life if Queensland have any chance of winning this game. And as much as I am the DCE lover on the internet, I do think the Blues will win Game 3 and win their 4th State of Origin series in the past 5 years. After what the Blues did in Game 2 this year and what they were able to do in Game 2 last year, I think that gives them a massive confidence boost, and they now have all the momentum heading into Game 3, We saw how much the Blues forward pack improved from game 1 to 2 with the inclusion of Jake Trbojevic and using the 2 dummy halves. The team that dominated the ruck in game 1 was Queensland, and the team that dominated the ruck in game 2 was New South Wales. So no matter how good your spine is, no matter how good your backline is, you have to be able to win the middle. I think that with Yo and Jake, the New South Wales will want to start fast, and if they can pile a couple tries on Queensland early, it could all but be over. Queensland will be wanting to hold on until Paddy Carrigan can come off the bench and try to replicate what he did in game 1, but that's what New South Wales will use Junior Bolo for, to do what he did so well in game 2. The Queensland backs will have to be up for another huge test, especially now without Munster. We've seen Gagai struggle in both the games, and the entire back 5 really struggled in game 2. The New South Wales backs were on fire when they reshuffled the backline for game 2, and keeping that for game 3. I think that Queensland will be trying to exploit that Stephen Crichton, Daniel Tupou edge, which has struggled at points in both the opening 2 games. But New South Wales' biggest advantage going into game 3 has to be the spine. Tedesco, Luai, Cleary and Appy/Cook up against Ponga, Dearden, DCE and Hunt/Grant. For Queensland to have any chance of winning, they need DCE to outplay Cleary, Ponga to outplay Tedesco, and for Harry Grant to do what he did all those years ago in his Origin debut and what he did in game 1. But I don't think it'll be enough. I think Cleary and Tedesco cement themselves as all-time greats for the Blues by leading New South Wales to a decider win at Suncorp for the first time since 2005. I think it's going to be James Tedesco who puts on a show similar to Munster in game 1, and where he will get man of the match, but Cleary will be good enough to win his first Wally Lewis medal. So my official prediction for State of Origin game 3 is going to be New South Wales to win 24-14, Tedesco to be man of the match, and Nathan Cleary to win his first Wally Lewis medal. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. It is completely free, and you can always change your mind later. Don't forget to drop your Game 3 predictions in that comment section, and of course, smash that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one.